good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show on the internet that asks the question that matters: are these movies worth the ticket price? In other words, are they worth your time and money? Thank you all for tuning in. With you as always, my name is Jake, co-host and voice of the show. With me as always, co-host extraordinaire and the only man who understands cricket because he knows what a crumpet is. Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
I am wonderful. Do you know what today is?
As of like recording, or
As
what
of
this episode
this
is?
day. Recording day.
It's Saturday.
Saturday?
Or no, it's Sunday.
Sunday.
Apparently I don't know what day it is. I have no idea. I'm very tired from work.
Today is 3/16.
It is 3/16. You are correct.
So you need to leave a 6-pack of beer out and a can of whoop ass for Stone Cold tonight.
I thought he
Does he deliver cans of whoop ass in 6-packs?
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way.
Does he come down the chimney?
He comes down the chimney.
Or no, I guess technically he would break through a window.
Exactly. So that being said,
Happy 3/16, everyone.
Happy 3/16. I want to go on a little bit of a rant.
Oh, God.
I came across something on TikTok yesterday.
First of all, you're too old to be on TikTok.
Never too old to be on TikTok.
What is up, my fellow kids?
Apparently, I have fucked up my algorithm so bad that I get these extreme wrestling fail videos.
Oh, sure.
And I hate it. But one in particular I came across yesterday.
Okay.
There was this board and they had zip tied scissors that were opened up. There was probably 24 scissors that were zip tied together in the open position, fanned out. And they were attached to this board sticking straight up. I didn't realize what they were when I first watched it, but it was laying in the ring. And then they had this guy do a suplex move, and he suplexed him onto the scissors.
Wouldn't that just Mortal Kombat style impale you?
It did. And when I seen it, I was like, did that just literally pierce him to his organs?
Yeah.
And he arches his back as it fucking hurt, which I'm sure. He got the pin. And then when he goes to move, you can see the scissors coming out of him. I'm like, what are we doing?
Well,
if your wrestling style is this, screw you.
Okay. I think we can all agree.
That is not wrestling.
Thank you. That's not wrestling.
That's borderline murder.
It's Jackass elevated to surreal levels.
It's stupid. It's New Jack levels of stupid.
No, New Jack could wrestle. He would just get high as fuck on cocaine, his words, and sometimes hurt people. But
yeah, and that's ridiculous.
But New Jack could wrestle.
He just chose not to.
Sometimes he just chose to get high as fuck on cocaine
and do the mass transit incident.
Yep. Or that guy he threw off the scaffold.
Oh yeah, and he intentionally tried to throw him
so he'd miss the tables and die. I feel like there was something else too, but I can't remember.
Yeah, none of that. I don't mind, like the thumbtacks. That's fine. Those are fine. Some of the stuff that Mick Foley used to do was fine.
Foley never took it to that. But also people see the bumps that Mick Foley would do and they think that's what it was, but they don't take into consideration how intelligent Mick Foley is.
Oh, yeah.
And how talented he is as a wrestler, because he understands the psychology and the storytelling of a match.
Yes.
And then how those hardcore moments or spots play into that.
I agree. Some of these guys are just doing it to be doing it.
Right. Yeah. There's no nuance.
It's not a story. It's just like, hey, let's see if you can throw me off the top of this cage, go through these 12 panes of glass onto barbed wire that's on fire, that is then over a pit of acid, and it's going to be cool. And you're doing it in an auditorium with 12 people.
No, they're doing it in a field with 12 people. They could not afford to rent a I've seen these videos.
It's a
they're
church.
Outside.
It's a gymnasium in a church.
To use wrestling terminology, there's a reason those shows are called outlaw mud shows. Because they're in the mud.
They're dumb. They're dumb.
What are we doing today? Are we talking about wrestling?
No, my rant's over. My rant's over. They're dumb. These guys can't take a fucking arm drag, but they want to be suplexed on a...
That's because they can fall on scissors. They can't, they don't have the skill to perform an arm drag.
Yeah. Ugh. Gross. I have that image in my head and I can't get it out, and it annoys the hell out of me.
Although I do enjoy me some botchamania.
You like watching them screw up and land on their head?
Yeah. Because most of the time, it's AEW.
Yeah, there's not wrong there. That's...
I mean, granted, there's some WWE in there for sure, especially in the women's division, because none of them can wrestle. And then there's always the, I don't know who this is or where they are, and there's like 4 people in the crowd, and you know they're relatives of somebody wrestling.
Yeah.
But most of the time...
the one you see from wrestling in WWF or WWE is... what was it, Titus O'Neil, when he tripped over the mat and went under
in the
ring?
Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Titus Worldwide became Titus World Slide. Yeah. Those memes are great.
I love that.
Although we've dated ourselves a little bit, because that's been some time.
It has been some time.
I'm just saying, we all enjoy watching wrestling oopsies.
I don't like watching like the Sid Vicious.
Oh, the leg break?
The leg breaks.
No.
Because I came across one the other day too. It said wait for the end. I thought, what are we doing? It's a wrestling ring in the middle of a field.
Yep.
And this guy gets up onto the second turnbuckle, and he does these, the Stone Cold raise the arms up to the crowd thing, and he jumps down onto the apron or onto the ring, and his knees just buckle inward.
I've seen that one.
Like, oh my God.
And the fact that it happens from the most mundane of things. But that's like when someone hurts, their back finally goes out. It's not from all the heavy lifting they're doing at work. It's when they're like, oh, I dropped my sock. And they just bend down to get their sock or a towel or whatever. And then boom, back goes out.
Yeah.
It was the final straw.
You sneeze wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was what that was.
I have seen the knee one though. But again, it's always in a field.
It's terrible. Anyway, what are we doing today?
What are we
what
doing?
What movie are we doing today?
All right.
I am so excited for this.
No, you only think you're excited because I am so excited for this.
A different reason.
Today, we are looking at the original 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Live action, baby.
Hell yes.
Ooh. Are we getting into it?
Okay?
Yeah.
You okay?
No, I got to settle down.
Okay. You're sweating.
My pants are tight. Written by Bobby Herbeck and Todd Langen, obviously based off the comic and creation of Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Directed by Steve Barron. Starring Judith Hoeg and Elias Koteas. Koteas?
Koteas? Yeah, Koteas. I don't know.
Do not look up a recent modern picture of Elias Koteas.
You don't like the handlebar mustache?
And his skullet?
I absolutely love that guy.
And he just looks so bitter in every picture.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
And you're going to forget the man.
The myth?
The legend. Corey Feldman.
Yeah, I saw that.
As the voice of Donatello.
I saw it. Yeah, but see, I excluded the turtles because then it's like, okay, you got to do all the all the suit actors, then you got to do all the voice actors, and too many names. Now, are you ready to poop your pants?
Again?
Budget. What do you think this movie was made for? In 1990. Remember that.
I'm going to say $10 million.
Close. Close. Made with an estimated $13.5 million.
Okay.
What do you think this movie grossed around the world? The worldwide gross, you might say. The tightest worldwide.
Easily over 150. I'm gonna say 200.
$202 million worldwide gross.
Yes.
There was a time when this was the highest grossing independent movie of all time.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Turtle Mania was real. And honestly, those were good times.
You know how much Corey Feldman was paid for his part?
I imagine it was in drugs, but no, I don't know the dollar amount.
$1,500.
Given the amount of work he does, I get it.
He agreed to do it because the producers led him believe that it was a low budget indie film that might turn a profit on VHS.
Now, to be fair, they may have believed that themselves.
Well, I know a lot of studios apparently didn't believe in this movie because it was turned down by everybody.
Yep.
Disney, Columbia, Universal, MGM, they all passed. 20th Century Fox, which I don't understand that. Like Turtles it's not like it was their first incarnation.
No, the cartoon, the big cartoon.
Yeah.
What, that came out, that started in what, 87?
I think so.
So we were already 3 years deep into what that original cartoon ran 9 or 10, maybe 11 seasons, somewhere in that range. It had an almost 10 season run in that ballpark. So we're 3 years into the cartoon run. The merchandise alone should have been dollar signs in every TV or every movie company's eyes, I would have thought.
Yeah, they already had the cartoon, they had the toys, they already had the comics. I don't know. Yeah, it ran for 10 seasons.
Yeah, 10.
In 87, you were correct.
Damn, I'm good.
But so I don't understand what they were thinking, but especially when you have Jim Henson doing the Turtles, like
yeah.
I do know that they were, a lot of the big movie production studios were worried about it being a box office disappointment because of Masters of the Universe. That movie fucking tanked, and that movie was terrible.
So, well, you know what? We're hold on to that because we're gonna get in there. If they thought, Masters of the Universe, that movie sucked, this is gonna follow suit. So it really begs the question. Obviously, this movie, our opinions on it are relevant. This movie made $200 million on a $13.5 million budget. That is a success by any metric, right?
Yeah, that's sequel money. I don't know why we didn't get a
sequel money.
I don't know why we didn't get a sequel to this.
I don't know why we didn't get a live action concert tour.
I forgot about that. Oh,
actually, my buddy Cole definitely owned that as a kid. He said he watched it all the time.
Have you ever watched the sequels? I never did.
Third one, 2 is okay. 3, not so much.
Do you know why I never did?
Because in 1990, you were a grown ass man.
Oh yeah, no, that didn't matter to me.
Okay.
I hated the way they looked. They changed the look.
Oh yeah, they changed the costume,
and I hated it.
Yeah,
so I refused. So, absolutely not.
Well, hey, if you hate the way they looked for the sequel, you'll definitely hate how the preserved costumes look today.
Oh, I'm sure they're
You think Five Nights at Freddy's is scary? If you walked down a hallway and saw this monstrosity looking at you, if you were an atheist, you would immediately convert to the first religion you can think of just so you have a chance to pray to someone to save you.
Okay.
Like they're all like half decomposed, like the material has worn away. It's horrible.
I bet.
3 award wins with an additional 3 nominations. Nothing.
No Oscar wins.
Wait, I have a complaint. I need to register a complaint. Okay. So, Tevis, what is your history with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I was never a big turtle guy. I didn't care for the cartoon. I didn't care for the toys. I didn't care for the comic. And honestly, I don't know if I read the comic before or after the cartoon. I think the cartoon came first for me.
Yeah.
But I was never a big turtle guy. But this movie came on HBO or whatever one time. And I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. I love this. And I had a VHS tape I'd recorded it off of TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Spaceballs, Point Break, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I would
What a triple feature
I would
is.
start it and then just let it go. And I would play those 3 movies over and over and over again.
Man, that is a triple feature.
I have probably watched those 3 movies more than any movies ever.
In a very specific order.
Absolutely. And I remember watching this movie on this terrible little, like 13-inch TV, giant tube TV. And the brightness on it was going out. So I couldn't see in the dark very well on the screen. So like there's a shot of the boys when they're running across the cityscape and they crawl under the fence to get in. I could never see them crawling under the fence because it was too dark on my TV.
So wait, did you learn something from this watch?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing all kinds of shit I never saw before. But no, I watch this all the damn time.
So dark you thought you were watching Nosferatu. What the hell is going on?
I can't see shit.
So for me, I probably
Who lit this movie?
I probably first watched this movie in 94. Because I was born in 90.
Shut your ass.
I had to bring that up just for you. But I was all swept up. My brother and I both. And honestly, my dad was, mom was cool with it. Dad was into it. We were a Turtle Mania house. We had the cartoons, we had the toys, we had the movies. You go to grandma and grandpa's house, they've got it all because the kids are all into it. I remember going over to Pop and Grandma's house, right? And they invested a lot in the toys for the grandkids when we were all little. And they had a full toy room. Like they just converted one of the guest rooms of the house they had bought and just turned it into the toy room, the playroom. Man, they had the turtle van.
Shit.
They had the cityscape play area. Like, it was cool as hell. They had all the figures, No. To say we were a turtle household would be an understatement. You said you weren't a turtle guy. I was, and possibly still am, a turtle guy enough for both of us. I am currently and it's not an availability issue, it's a funds issue. I'm trying to, plus I try not to buy them because it's an easy gift idea for Anna. They make collector bound sets of the IDW run of the Turtle comics, written and inked and by Eastman and Laird. So they came back and did the IDW run of the comics. But they did it for like years. and they have the big hardback collector bound
Oh yeah.
editions. So I'm working on getting those.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did eventually get around to the original comic run.
Yeah.
And
Well,
those
original comic run. You mean the original comic?
Yeah, that one is fantastic. Those
Yeah.
are fantastic. I love that.
I love it because everyone's like, well, they always make Shredder the main bad guy, but like Shredder dies in the very first comic. Why is he the main bad? And then Eastman and Laird are like, well, no, we made Shredder the main bad guy because he was always going to be the main bad. We just killed him in the first comic because we figured there wasn't ever going to be a second to continue the story. We didn't think there would be a continuation of the story, so we had to make sure we wrapped it up.
Oh yeah.
And that's why Shredder dies in the original comic, because they were like, this was just a dream that we managed to pull together. We never thought it would go anywhere.
Thought it would turn into this. I mean, it's still going.
And it still makes money.
It does.
The Turtles are a cultural cornerstone.
They are. And everything that they've put out has made money.
Yep.
Not everything that they've put out has been worth watching.
That is also correct.
But this last thing that came out, Mutant Mayhem,
That was funny.
is fantastic.
So I mollywhopped that fool. And then Donnie later in the movie, guys, help me! I'm being mollywopped!
It's such a good movie.
Can I complain about Mutant Mayhem, though?
No. We're not talking about Mutant Mayhem.
Too bad you brought it up.
Save it for the episode.
Too bad you brought it
It's
up.
in the hat.
Too bad you brought it up. I get that one of the big selling points of it is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are finally, for the very first time, being voiced by teenagers. I get that.
Okay.
You know what would also be really cool? If they were voiced by talent.
I didn't have a problem with them.
Oh, no. It's like Mikey is awful. Donnie's okay. Leo's all right. Raph's not very good.
Oh, no. I disagree. I love them.
No.
That's my favorite.
Mikey is atrocious. That voice actor has zero ability.
Well, I'm not going to look him up because we're not talking about.
And I don't want to dump over, I don't know his name, and I don't want to know. I don't want to dump over this kid. He's living his dream, and good for him. I'm just saying, though, that personally, I'm okay if the teenager character, if the mutant turtle, who happens to be 16 or whatever, is voiced by an adult, as long as the voice is of quality.
That's fair.
And can actually read lines without sounding like they're being read. Michelangelo. All right. Are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready to get into this.
There is an organized crime wave sweeping New York.
Holy shit.
Things are straight up disappearing at an alarming rate. Everything from maybe a wallet to entire delivery trucks of goods.
And some poor woman's shitty ass TV.
I think it was the TV you were watching this movie on.
She's like, where did they go? Did
Wait,
they go
wait,
into
wait,
that
wait.
fence? I can't see it.
Did you guys buy your TV secondhand by chance?
Yes, from some guy wearing a mask.
He had the dragon doji.
Yeah. I asked him, I'm like, what are you doing here? Am I behind on my Sony payments again?
God damn. You know what? That was a good.
Thanks.
God damn it. I make the jokes around. But April O'Neil, sans yellowish orange tracksuit.
I had such a crush on Judith Hogue. Oh my God. Just from this movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
I don't know the actress's name.
Judith Hogue.
No, not her.
Oh.
If we're talking crushes, I think acting wise, they both do great. But if we're talking crushes, I was always more Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze April O'Neil. She is very pretty.
Do you know why Judith Hogue was not April O'Neil in the second one?
No.
She made such a stink on set about the violence and working 6 days a week that she was not asked back.
Oh, so she was just irritating to work with.
Yes. And I had such a huge crush on her.
Yeah.
Like I took my daughter to a comic convention in Iowa, in Des Moines.
Yeah.
A few, probably 6 or 7 months ago. And Judith Hoag was there.
Was she really?
Yes. And I saw her in her booth and I was like, oh, hey, this is cool. She's right here. I refused to go talk to her. I refused because I'd heard this story of her being such a pain in the ass on set, and I didn't want to meet her.
Yeah.
I didn't want image of who I thought she might be.
You didn't want to meet your heroes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't want to meet her, but I did. I saw her from a distance, and I was like, man, she still got it. She still got it.
Hey, good for her.
Yeah.
No, if we're talking just crush, though, I was always more partial to 2. I don't know her name, though.
I'll have to look her up because I don't know who that is because I refused to watch the second one.
And that's fine, too. We're now discussing the merits of 2 attractive women. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I get it. I'm just saying I was more partial to 2. But we see April.
Paige Turco.
Yes, that sounds right.
Oh. I may have to watch Secret of the Ooze.
She is very pretty.
Yes. What else has she been in?
You know what? She also does a really good job. You are making a wild face right now as you're looking up her filmography.
She's in this movie called The Feminine Touch. It's a 1995 direct-to-video thriller.
Adult.
Based on the
tell me
poster,
it's an adult film.
It looks a little bit adultish.
Is she going to win the Diane Keaton Award for going above and beyond the call of nudity?
Might.
Oh my God, I have to watch this. Oh my God. Look at her ass. Wait a minute.
No, it's mine.
No, you have Jennifer Hoag.
Judith Hoag.
Whatever.
So this movie, give me a piece of paper and a pen. I'm going to write this movie down and put it in the hat.
Hey, tune in next week as we launch Feminine Touch in Ticket Price After Dark. The lights are off and so are our pants.
Yeah.
Oh my God. New tagline, new sub-series. No, I'm just saying I was always more partial. Anywho, I actually enjoyed this. So it's opening narration exposition
Through a broadcast.
However, it is done through a news report, a news broadcast that cuts from April doing the broadcast to events she is describing. And it works for me.
Yeah, me too.
If it were just panning over the city and we see stuff get stolen as April just talks, it wouldn't work. But it gets a pass because we now understand we are listening to a news broadcast.
I think if they would have done it with just a random news broadcast, I don't think it would have worked as well.
But because it's April?
But because it's April, she's doing the broadcast. She's doing her job.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the broadcast, when she says, the most disturbing silence is coming from City Hall, that gets her in trouble with the commissioner or the police chief. So it all ties together. It works.
It does work.
I don't have an issue with this at all.
But perhaps the most disturbing silence is that coming from City Hall. April O'Neil, Channel 5 News, signing off. What a great ending line, too. So April is she's heading home for the day. She heads out to her van where she gets mugged by some hooligans.
Surprise. Well,
yes, I have that in here. Although I thought I was like, is that like Crazy Young first movie Sam Rockwell? I couldn't. It was dark and it was hard to tell for sure.
Was you watching it on my Tube TV?
Possibly.
Okay.
But I did put him down when we see him again at the lair.
Yeah, we see him a couple times.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. I was like, holy shit, that's Sam Rockwell. I'm just disappointed he didn't do a little dance.
Well, he was only
that he's known to do in every movie.
Well, he was only 17 or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
But she gets attacked where all of a sudden, how do I put this? A sigh is thrown and the street light goes out.
Did you notice the light? There's glass breaking.
Yeah.
But the bulb doesn't break.
Oh.
So there's glass breaking. The bulb doesn't break. It just goes out. It like stays on even when the glass is falling and the side's falling. And it's like somebody in the prop department is like, oh shit, turn the light off. Click.
It works.
It works. No, it works.
And now the alleyway is bathed in darkness and we hear the sounds of combat. Then the police arrive and their headlights illuminate the scene and we see April, safe and sound, with her attackers beaten up and tied up, waiting for police. But April spots something on the ground and it is the sigh that was used to break the light, and she real cash slides it into her purse. And we get Raph's first line. Damn.
I love this introduction to the Turtles.
The opening score slaps ass.
Oh yeah, the fact that you just see his eyes in that manhole,
in the manhole,
and you don't see them at all the first time. You see a little bit of his eyes under the manhole, and then he's like, "Ah, damn!" and then goes down into the sewer.
Yeah,
I love that.
And again, this opening score is perfect.
I agree.
It's bouncy and it's fun. It fills you with electricity where you just kind of move along with it as the Turtles are celebrating their first real victory.
Yeah.
And they're rushing home to tell Master Splinter about it. Except Raph, who's sulking.
As he does.
He does do that. Damn it, Raph. Get your shit together.
I was a little concerned when I first heard they were doing the Turtles live action with puppets.
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid it was going to be Howard the Duckish.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of is.
It is a little.
But the way these guys look, man, they look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
They look so damn good.
They really do.
And
well, Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Absolutely. And they're all, because in the cartoon, it was the exact same turtle. All four were the exact same. The only way you could tell them apart was their masks.
Yeah.
The mask color. I think these you could tell them apart without the mask.
They all have a distinct like face.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And I appreciate that.
They rush home. We had our first real battle, Master Splinter. We kicked their... We fought well, as Leonardo remembers who he's talking to and calms it down a little bit. And then we get the very important lesson from Splinter about the true art of to master the ninjutsu. It's about never being seen. You strike without warning and leave without a trace. Except not quite everyone is listening to Master Splinter's wise words when in the background is Michelangelo is ordering a pizza very loudly and no anchovies. I'm talking no anchovies. You put anchovies on this pizza. And how does Splinter react? He picks up a phone book or something and hucks it at him. Michelangelo! Oh, I gotta go. And the clock's ticking, dude.
Yeah, the clock's ticking, dude. And he looks back at the boys and he's like,
kids.
I love that they have their own payphone down there. It's so great.
And we see, okay, we get some of Raph's personality, and we're starting to, Leo is kind of the leader, and he's the one talking to Splinter, and he's also trying to be the most reserved and respectful. And we see Michelangelo doing Michelangelo stuff. Donnie is tinkering with things. Raph is being angry and moody. So we're getting basic personality traits. Splinter is the wise and loving father figure slash teacher, sensei. But we're also now getting the little interactions of how these different characters interact. Of, Splinter is maybe a little heavy-handed trying to keep Mikey on task, but it's still in an affectionate way, because he throws a book at Mikey. Well, that seems a little harsh, but then he's just, kids, he knows he's got to keep Mikey. He has to work a little harder to help Mikey focus, because Mikey has not learned about Riddling yet.
He's a little out there. My only issue is you get to know a little bit about Leonardo. You get to in his personality. You learn a little bit about Mikey and his personality and Raph.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really get to know Donatello too much. He doesn't have the moment where he's always tinkering, but it's never shown that he's the brains of the operation. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like the payphone. It's like, how the hell did they get a payphone down there? Well, it's Donatello.
Yeah.
He's the one that probably wired it up and got it working and did all this stuff. But you never see him do anything like that.
No.
That's my only issue.
Well, we kind of do. But it doesn't fully answer or solve what you're bringing up, because you are right. But at the same time, I feel like it would detract from the movie if Donnie was working on the van or working on a Metalhead or,
Yeah, but you could have him, like, he could make gadgets for them.
Yeah.
Something to show that he is the brains. He is the...
They're not there yet. They're just starting.
I understand that, but you have the payphone in there. You could have him putting that in, or just
Sure,
something small. Then that I'm nitpicking.
So right now you're saying they don't do a good enough job to showcase Donatello does machines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Did you like that?
I did.
Raph complains about losing a sai, and Splinter gives a very sensible and calm approach. I lost a sai, then it's gone, but I can get it back. Raphael, it's gone. Let it go.
Yep.
He's very...
But he can't.
No, Raph can't, but Splinter is like, okay. Yep, that happens.
Yep.
And trying to teach him that lesson of, like, don't cry over spilled milk. Like, yep, it's gone. Okay.
Moving on.
Then we cut to Mikey waiting for pizza. And Donnie shows up. And I love all the Donnie-Mikey interactions.
Oh, I do too.
Where it's like, you ever think about what Splinter was talking about? Like, not having them? Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like, okay, never mind.
122 and an eighth? Where the heck is 122 and an eighth? You're standing on it, dude. As we see the Domino's delivery driver standing on a sewer grate, and you just see a $10 bill come up from I love this. It's so funny to me. Just that $10 bill comes up, and he's just like, just slide it down here.
That guy, the pizza delivery guy, he was the one in the suit of Michelangelo.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. Yeah.
Every one of them that are in the suit, every actor that's in the suit makes an appearance in the movie.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I like that. They do the swap, and he's like, hey, this is a 10, the tab's 13. Wise man says, forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. I gotta get a new route. I thought I delivered everywhere. I just love how all the New Yorkers that really encounter the turtles or have some sort of an interaction with the turtles are just like, this freaking city. And then they just kind of move on with their day.
Yeah, they've seen some shit.
Man, I have encountered a homeless man taking a shit in the subway. Then I had to get all the rats having sex off my car. And now I gave pizza to a giant turtle in a sewer. Man,
Who ripped me off for $3.
you're 2 minutes late, dude. So Raph's angry and he's got to take a walk. So he goes to watch a movie. Did you notice what movie he saw?
Critters.
Where do they come up with this stuff? Where all of a sudden a woman is purse snatched and the guys are running, someone stop them, help. And Raph trips them both, tosses the purse back, and the guys turn and look at him, and he just just flashes open his trench coat a little bit and points at his side like it's a gun. And he's like, and the guys freak out and run, and I'm going, really? Okay. Or maybe
if you saw that face, you'd be like, oh shit, get the hell out of here.
Some sort of punker?
With green makeup?
So they escape into the park where the purse snatchers are then intercepted again, except this time they're intercepted by one Casey Jones.
He whips their ass.
That was a crime, you purse scrubbing pukes, and this is the penalty. And then he does a 360 spin and hits that guy in the face with his hockey stick. I need to point this out. Would you like to learn a little history about the hockey stick?
Sure.
The curved part that they actually use to hit the puck. Do you know what that's called?
The thing.
It's called the blade.
Oh, yes. Okay. That's where my next guess.
Would you like to know where this comes from? Back in ye old hockey days, back where men were men and helmets didn't exist, certain guys would become known for carving up other players. And that means taking the blade of their stick and slashing it amongst the head and face of other players. And it would cut them like a sword or a knife might.
Jesus.
Then it was known if two of these guys would get into it, they would have a sword fight as they were both essentially trying to cut the other to ribbons with their hockey stick.
God.
Yeah, so I tell you right now, when Casey Jones hits that guy, that dude's cheekbone is shattered, and he would have a 6-inch gash.
It'd be filleted open.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It would look like an Arby's sandwich on his face.
Why didn't we see that? I want to see that. R-rated turtle movie.
The R-rated... Actually, I'll bring this up later. There was something Anna brought up that she wants to see in a turtle movie, but we'll get there. Okay. I could fill this whole episode with just inane turtle facts and things to talk about, and I'm going to. So, but Casey Jones fucks that guy's world.
So the other movie thug gets hooked by the foot.
2 minutes for tripping, and he hooks his ankle and trips him. Yeah.
When I watched it this last time, I was like, that guy looks familiar.
Mm-hmm.
He was in another movie as a young Tommy DeVito in Goodfellas.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I was like, holy crap, why do I know that guy?
That's cool.
And it took some digging, but I figured it out. I found it out. I was like, oh, yeah.
Fun.
Awesome.
Now, seeing this brutality, Raph intervenes, and he's like, look, man, you did your job. Now beat it. These JV lowlifes need to be taught a lesson. And Raph is like, not like that. Not from you.
The actor takes a fucking dive on this when Raph pushes him down. Like,
Elias?
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes down hard.
He goes down hard, and it looks like his all face.
He goes for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
and
for
it makes
him.
it look good.
It does. It looks really good.
Raph shoves him down. Yeah. And he's like, all right, well, now we have a problem. I don't want to fight you. Well, tough rocks, pal. And we get the classic Raphael Casey Jones feud as they square off. And I don't know what's better, the fight scene or their constant back and forth during the fight scene.
Oh, it's all of it.
Because, let's talk about the fight scenes in this movie just in broad strokes. They're simple.
Absolutely.
And the choreography is, again, it's simplistic, but it looks good.
It does.
This movie, the fight scenes in this movie they're a difficulty of 5 with an execution of 10.
I would agree with that.
And I appreciate that. I'm okay with simple fight scenes that look good, because to me, that's better than overly complex done poorly.
Yeah, and this could have easily been done poorly with the guys in the suits trying to pull off these moves. And so, no, I do appreciate the fight scenes in this movie a lot.
Because then, Casey Jones pulls out 2 baseball bats, and it looks like he's swinging for the fences as Raph is ducking and dodging. And I'm like, this looks great. And it still looks great. But that's when Raph catches the bat. Oh, a Jose Canseco bat? Tell me, you didn't pay money for this.
So funny.
And then he hits him with the second one, and that's when Casey's like, 2 for 1 sale, pal.
Yeah, their whole back and forth during this, the fight itself is good, but the back and forth they have makes this thing 1,000 times better.
It's personalities, the character interactions.
No.
It's so fun because Raph does the front flip and gets a bat and he hits Casey Jones from behind across the back with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Casey Jones goes down again. And then that's when Raph is like, Raphael wins 1-0. Casey Jones gets up and Raph is like, takes a few, like, come on, you want to do this? Let's do this. Yeah. All right, pal, new game. Cricket? Nobody understands cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket. I'll teach you. And he uppercuts Raph with a cricket bat, and we see him sail through the air and land in a trash can. So long, freak. Got work to do.
6 runs.
That's 6 runs.
Yeah. So I guess when the actor went headfirst into the trash can, the impact of that crushed the head of the suit.
Oh.
And it broke the actor's nose.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So it looked good because it happened.
Yeah. I guess you can see it when he gets up, when he gets out of the trash can, he kind of reaches up for his face.
Yeah.
They used that take because they didn't want to have to do it again.
Because it looks... not everyone believes this, but there is in filmmaking circles the belief of use the take that someone actually got hurt in because it will look the best.
Yes.
You ever see Hot Rod with Andy Samberg?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
The scene where he goes off the jump over the truck, but like hits the nose of the truck, and then he himself flies forward and hits the edge of the ramp and falls. It looks brutal as hell. It almost looks like a rag doll, like they subbed out a rag doll. Come to find out, that's not what the gag was supposed to be at all. And the stunt actor broke his leg like in half on impact.
Jesus.
But that's the take that makes it into the movie, because they went, nothing we do will look this good. Because this guy actually really got hurt.
Jesus Christ.
So, there is a mentality out there of use the take where someone gets hurt because it looks the best. So we meet Casey, he takes off. Now, we cut back to April.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So Raphael goes running after him and rolls over the hood.
He's running down the street. A taxi cab comes up, and Raph is half hit by it, half does a front roll over the hood. Well, what the hell was that?
That guy in the back seat was Raphael in the suit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like a big turtle in a trench coat. You go into LaGuardia, right?
So dismissive.
Yeah.
There's like, it's a big turtle.
New York.
Yeah.
I just love how nonchalant the New Yorkers are. It's never not funny to me.
Same.
Yeah, it just kind of looked like a big turtle in a trench coat. Oh. The hell was that? So it cuts back to April, who is interviewing Chief Stearns, and finally directly mentions that there are some immigrants from Japan who are reminded of a similar incident that occurred, perpetrated by the Foot Clan. And so now the Foot Clan is named. Someone is watching her broadcast very closely and hears her mention the Foot Clan, and he takes a throwing knife and embeds it into one of the TVs he's watching.
I love that wall of TVs. It's so stupid, but it's cool looking.
It works at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, some of them don't even work. There's some that are all
obviously
and
some
staticky.
of them don't work. He threw a knife at one of them.
Yeah.
But I also love, if you really watch it, he throws the knife and it just shows how robust the old TVs were, because the picture still works, because the knife didn't get through all the glass that made up the screen.
Yes. I think that was the TV that I ended up watching it on.
Oh, was that the one?
Yeah.
Find her. Silence her.
It's so stupid.
What's so stupid?
That whole wall of TVs.
Oh, yeah, but like, you just see the silhouette sitting in the chair, and you find her, silence her, and you're going, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So now, April goes down to the subway, where she gets jumped again, not by hoodlums this time, but by ninjas. And that's when she drops the line you mentioned earlier. What am I, behind on my Sony payments again? We have a message for you, Miss O'Neill. And he opens his hand and it's empty. And then he just slaps the shit out of April. I just went, oh my God.
And that guy was Donatello.
Was it?
Yes.
He slaps her. Shut it. He tells her to shut up, to stop talking about what you're talking about.
We're being so racist.
What?
Really? An Asian guy shows up and then she's like, oh, am I behind on my Sony payments again? Racist.
I think you're stretching.
Maybe.
We don't know that guy's Asian. He's under a mask.
Then why did she say that?
Because she's nervous and trying to quip her way out of an awkward situation. She's trying to de-escalate with humor.
I don't think that guy is actually Asian, but it's a terrible Asian accent.
We don't know he's Asian. Not all the Foot members are Asian.
He's not.
Some of them are. Not all of them.
The actor who played him is not Asian.
Okay, so he wasn't Asian.
But his voice is fucking Asian.
Maybe a little. He does say, we come to deliver a message.
Miss O'Neill. Oh my God, stop it.
It's not Mickey Rooney.
No, it's not that level of bad. But it's kind of bad.
It was fun.
It was bad.
It was playful racism.
It was the best kind.
That's right. So April pulls Raph's sigh because she's going to do anything with that.
Yeah, like she holds it out in front of her like,
yeah,
don't make me...
Like a gun.
Don't make me stand here and hold this.
They knock it out of her hand. And then the guy that slapped her just hits her with a right hook and she goes down.
Yes, she does.
I'm going, man, I don't remember April taking so much punishment.
She gets the shit kicked out of her.
Multiple times, because when she tries to run from the first mugging, they tackle her to the ground. Sam Rockwell brings her down like he's trying to break Joe Theismann's leg. But Raph had been keeping tabs on April because he wants his sigh back. And he interrupts the beatdown and kicks the shit out of the Foot Clan.
Good for him.
Realizing, though, that she's hurt and needs help, he picks her up and runs through the subway tunnel to take her back to the lair. Unfortunately, he is followed. What? Are you crazy? Yeah, Leo, I'm crazy. All right, a loony, okay?
Couple of throw pillows.
Why'd you bring her?
A
Why?
TV news reporter.
Why? Oh, gee, I don't know. I wanted to redecorate. What do you think? A couple of throw pillows, a TV news reporter. What do you think? I love their interactions.
I do too.
But April wakes up, meets Splinter and the Turtles, justifiably freaks out a little bit, and then Splinter tells her a little of their origin. And I love these
the little puppets, the little
the
turtles.
little puppets in the flashbacks. Some people, and we'll get to it when we do reviews, some people hated this.
Why?
They felt like it was disconnected and like it should be in a different movie visually. I love this. Splinter's like,
I didn't have an issue with it. Yeah.
I was a rat in the sewers. I came across 4 baby turtles.
Turtles.
When I awoke the next morning, I had received a shock as they had doubled in size. And then those big turtles are running around. Pizza. As we see the turtles growing up and Splinter start their training, tell me which one's Mikey. Radical.
That one's Mikey.
Tell me that one isn't Mikey.
That's Mikey.
Radical. I love, they're so fun. I'm sorry, if you're just like, this is just, meh, you hate fun. You are probably a miserable prick.
I agree. Yeah, I like this. I thought they were cool.
So we do the meet and greet. The turtles take April back to her apartment. She invites him upstairs for some frozen pizza. Did she say pizza? Yep, pizza.
Love you. She gets out of the sewer. Mikey's standing there. It would just his head popped out, and she says, "I would invite you guys in, but the only thing I have is a frozen pizza." And he just pizza.
Anna laughed at that too.
I love that.
There are little moments of pure cartoonishness that just fit.
It works.
It's not so serious. It doesn't poke fun at itself because I hate that.
Yeah.
But it's having fun with the material they're working with.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that moment.
So now they're growing closer with April, and
but I hate this moment.
The pizza moment?
With them in the apartment with her.
God, not Cagney.
Oh, I hate it. The voice that he's doing.
Yeah.
And
it's real cringe.
It's cringe. The laughter is cringe. I've always hated it.
It's not the movie's strongest point.
No.
But we need the turtles to be away from home for a while. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. No, I agree. But
if anything, that should just make you appreciate Raphael in this moment more. He's just going, God, this is so dumb.
Yeah, I'm Raphael. I'm Raph.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
In general, you moody fuck.
What are you talking about?
Just let it go.
Can we get on with this, please?
Turtles return home to find the door torn down, their lair ripped apart and ransacked, and Splinter is missing.
And they do this Michael Bay camera move with them spinning around Raph.
Yeah.
And him screaming.
I kind of like this, though, because if anything, he's taking it the hardest.
Yeah, and it's spinning around him, and you can see, like,
it's almost like an anxiety attack.
Exactly. His temperature, or his temper is boiling up,
but not in pure rage. There's fear. He's having a panic attack.
Yes. Yeah. The camera, it's swirling around him, but it's not a smooth motion either. It kind of shakes a little bit as it goes. And that's kind of Raph at that moment.
Yeah.
It works really well.
Yeah, I actually like that move.
Yeah. I think Michael Bay watched this and was like, I'm using that in every one of my films, only poorly.
I'm not a big Michael Bay guy. You know what? He had to have watched this and been inspired. He did his own turtle movies.
Poorly.
They are some of the worst looking turtles I've ever seen.
I hate them. Hate them.
And it's got what's-her-face in it. In them.
Megan Fox?
Yes. The only person who hires her is Michael Bay.
That's true.
Just like the only person who hires Mia Djokovic is her husband.
Paul W.S. Anderson?
Yes.
Yeah.
So unsure where to go, the turtles go back to April's, explain kind of what happened. She lets them crash. Then her boss comes in.
I forgot. Sorry. When she opens up the door and they're all four standing there and they're looking all sad and
Mikey's got his bear.
yeah, and I think it was Leo. She's like, "What's wrong?" And he just looks up and he goes, "Splinter."
Yeah.
Just his mouth moves just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It always makes me laugh. Splinter.
Well, he doesn't say much. Then we get the turtles hiding from Charles. I actually like this little sequence.
I did too.
Like, Danny looks up in the mirror and sees one of them under the table, but by the time he turns around to look, they're gone.
And why is her boss always at her apartment?
He's creeping.
It kind of gives off
he would like April to be the new mother to his son.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it's almost like they had a relationship at one point. And
I could see that. And
now it's because he's very comfortable there and she's very comfortable with him being
there. They used
to
date.
Yeah, it's
maybe.
That. And they realized it's not a good idea because you're my boss. And
yeah, it was a mutual breakup. But
he's still trying to.
Maybe he regrets it now.
Maybe.
But yeah, they are oddly close for some reason.
Like, I wouldn't want my boss in my bathroom while I'm getting ready.
Right.
And opening up my shower, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
You're going to see protein stains everywhere.
Yeah, what the hell?
But like, he goes to get the towel. We see like Donnie in the tub and then he throws it and Donnie's gone. And then as Charles walks away, April looks up and he's clinging to the roof. I like this.
I did too.
And like Anna, when Danny sees one of them in the mirror and turns to look and they're gone. And she's like, how did he get out of there so quickly and quietly? And I went, ninjas? Ninjas.
Yeah.
Ninjutsu.
Yeah.
You don't need to go any farther than that.
Ninja.
Let's see. This is what we do. Do.
The what am I trying to say here? This club is such a cool place.
It's okay. It doesn't go this hard, but tell me the Lost Boys hideout in Hook isn't inspired, at least loosely.
Absolutely.
From this.
Absolutely. Only it's done poorly.
Yeah, the Lost Boys
is terrible. But this place is cool.
We've got teenage smoking, teenage drinking. There was definitely a teenage prostitute walking around. That's exactly what that girl was. You know it was. Don't even lie to me. You know exactly what she was.
What are you talking about?
That whore.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was a professional hooer. Maybe.
Okay, yes.
But this is when I for sure wrote down surprise Sam Rockwell, because we really see him. It's like, hey, anything you guys want to do, anything you want, we got it. Anything you want to do. Well, you got any cigarettes? And he's like, he gives an incredulous look, like, really? And he just reaches over and grabs 2 cartons of menthol or regular. And he like gives them both. He's like, amateur ass.
I hate the way that guy says it. You got any cigarettes? I'm like, oh, God.
Sam Rockwell does a really good job.
No, I love Sam Rockwell, but that guy who's you got any cigarettes? Jesus.
To be fair, I have been asked that question in the exact same manner by little old ladies in the checkout line. And I was like, well, no, ma'am, you have to go down to register 13 if you want.
Yeah.
But I'm already in this register. Get the hell out of my line.
I can smell you. You don't need any more cigarettes.
I smelled you coming through the door.
There was this lady that used to come into the grocery store all the time. And she reminded me of my grandmother.
Okay.
She had similar facial features of her. But she would come up to the counter and I want to say she would want to do Western Union shit all the time.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't have to really, I didn't really have to deal with her that much, but she reeked of cigarettes so bad. And when she would come up to the counter, I'd be like, "What can I do for you?" She would, "I need to do a Western Union." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Antlers.
Fucking yeah. Weren't you in The Crow? But god damn. I'm like, okay, hang on. Let me get somebody to help you. Okay, thank you very much. I'm like, oh. Aren't you the person that put the makeup on Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire?
Be careful with her. She's a little old lady.
I gotta call my mother.
Actually, okay. You brought him up. The guy from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh yeah.
He's in one episode of The Simpsons.
Oh really?
But it's one of my favorite episodes. Homer ends up becoming an executive at the power plant, and he gets a personal assistant, and his personal assistant is Carl, and voiced by that guy. And that episode is so good. That was definitely in the golden age of The Simpsons for sure.
What is his name? Harvey Firestein.
Yes, that's it. And I can picture him.
Me too. He's the 90s guy. Like
he was in everything in the 90s.
And he always played the same character.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And I absolutely loved every time I seen him.
He was always great.
Yeah.
Back to the Turtles. Gong or something. Something sounds, and everyone stops what they're doing, and they rush to a common area where they meet. And then we see Foot Clan. We see Tatsu come out with a shadowy figure, and full Foot Clan members roll out a carpet for him to stand on. And Shredder walks out. He looks so fucking cool. And Tatsu rolls the cape back to show the spiked shoulder pauldrons. And now it's just Shredder, full armor, helmet, the cape, the voice. Shredder is awesome.
He is awesome. And I like Tatsu as well.
Tatsu is also very cool. He is
cool as hell. He doesn't say hardly shit. I love when he's walking around the club.
The kid accidentally bumps into him and then immediately freaks out.
Yeah.
Go. Play.
He does a little finger move. Go. Play. Oh, it's so cool.
And Shredder gives actually kind of an awesome monologue. Money cannot buy the honor you have earned today. And they initiate a brand new full-fledged member of the Foot Clan, and he gets the mask and the Dragon Doji headband. So cool.
Yeah, I like the introduction to Shredder a lot. He looks like he does in the cartoon.
Yeah.
But it's not done in a way that it looks hokey.
Yes, and that's the word I was thinking. It's not overly hokey.
No.
It was made in 90, so his clothing is a little hokey, but it's not too hokey.
No,
his pajama attire is.
You don't like his onesie?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it's got a little bit of that 90 hokiness.
A little bit of 90 onesies.
A little bit.
Does he have a flap in the back, I wonder? Is that why the cape's there? To hide it?
Hide the butt flap?
Yeah.
Well, between the onesie and the armor, do you know how much of a pain in the ass it is to take all that off to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
That's why Tatsu's there. He takes stuff off for him. But Shredder...
I can see Tatsu. You have to help me. I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, shit.
But he would do it.
That's what I have to do.
He would do it because Shredder would mop the floor with him.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. We know Tatsu at this point, and he's kind of a badass. But then we meet Shredder, and you go, oh, no, that guy's a badass.
Yeah, Tatsu's a badass, but he kind of goes out like a bitch.
Oh, yeah. We're not there yet, but I'm... So, with Splinter captured, Shredder is hell-bent on the Foot Clan finding the rest of them. And they get a tip that someone within the Foot Clan umbrella has seen a large turtle-like figure at April O'Neil's apartment.
Fucking Danny.
Fucking Danny, Charles's son.
This little shit.
You want to punch him in the face.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But Danny gives the turtle's location. So Raph gets mad at Leo. They have a fight because Raph feels like they should be doing more to find Splinter. And Leo's like, well, we can't just go out blindly. April's doing digging, and she'll give us any leads. I mean, that's where we're at. Raph gets mad, goes to the roof to blow off some steam, where he gets jumped by the Foot. And actually, I forgot that this fight, the Raph specific portion of the fight, has two parts. Raph gets jumped, and he beats the shit out of all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, you guys must have been studying the abridged book of ninja fighting. And he beats their ass. And then he's like, come on. I mean, honestly, how do you guys plan to beat me? And then just like an army of guys shows up and, oh, good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
The only thing that bothered me about this fight is they reuse different shots.
Yeah.
But in different focal points. Like they'll have one shot where he kicks the guy in the front and then turns around and kicks the guy in the back behind him. They do that zoomed in pretty close.
Yeah.
But then they do it again when it's zoomed way out. And I'm like, oh, I could see they just redid a shot.
I liked the move, though.
The move was cool. I like the move. Yeah. And especially with him in that suit doing that move.
All the more impressive.
All the more impressive. But again, I'm nitpicking.
Yeah. But that's what we do. That's
what
part of the job.
That is what we do. This is what we do.
Man, that song kind of slaps too, man.
Yes.
Rock your body. Rock your body. Yeah. But Raph is eventually overwhelmed. And gets thrown through the skylight.
Now, isn't this section like taken directly from that first comic?
You know what? I've not gotten my hands on an original.
I think it is, but I could be wrong.
But also, who was there many blocks away, so it makes sense why it takes him so long to get there, which I also appreciate. But who's got a pair of binoculars trying to get his radio working and sees Raph training? Casey Jones.
Yes.
Casey Jones recognizes him, sees him get jumped. That's what we know. And you know what? Where are the other turtles? April's giving them the tour of the second time around antique shop that she runs because her dad, it's for her dad. Her dad was always, loved junk and did the store and whatever, and she keeps it open for him, or for his memory. I like that. It's short but effective character building.
I agree.
Because you're like, oh, she loves her dad. And he's gone, and she just does this part-time as a way to still feel connected to him. We can all empathize with that. It works.
Yeah, and it does. It never feels forced because they are down there to learn a little bit more about April, also get them away from that apartment so they don't hear the ruckus upstairs. Mm-hmm. And then when they get back to the apartment, that's when Raph comes falling through the skylight.
Yeah.
One moment of this that always stands out to me is when Raph is laying there and they all run over to get to him.
Yeah.
And they put their hands on his shell and it looks like a squishmallow.
Yeah. I noticed that.
Yeah.
But you know what? These are just giant heavy rubber suits.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have some, but you know what? Again, I don't know. It doesn't detract for me.
No, me either. It's there.
It's part of the charm almost.
Absolutely. There's a lot of moments like this that just add to the charm. And when we get there,
like Leo's little mouth, Splinter.
Splinter. Or the nightmare fuel when we get to the part.
Oh my God.
At the farm.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Goddamn xenomorph. So less penis though. Not no penis, just less penis. Raph's throwing, so they do the tour, they go back upstairs, Raph falls, the Foot Clan come in, they're just like, what the hell? And now the full fight is on.
Yes.
I like this fight too.
I did too. Even the guy standing in the hallway passing out hatchets.
Axes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, someone's got to hand them out.
You just see him running down the road to the apartment.
Yeah.
Carrying all these. we might need them. Will you put those away? We don't need, you never know. We might need them.
See, the one time I don't bring them, we're going to need them and you're going to wish we had them.
Yeah. And he's just standing outside holding them, waiting.
Yeah.
You guys said you didn't want them. So fuck you. I'm going to hold on to them. We need them now. Okay. See, aren't you glad I brought them?
Well, you're welcome.
Not a thank you.
Wait, this guy.
Not a you were right. Nothing.
He's like, I'm going to tell you. I told you so. I told you I told you so. I told you so. I told you every time he hands one out. I told you so. I told you so. This guy's becoming my favorite character based off our headcanon. The sassy foot member.
Sassy foot.
Foot member.
Yeah, foot member.
Foot ninja.
Yeah, his name is Harold.
Something about sassy foot I don't like. Harold the sassy ninja.
Yeah.
Told you so. They begin brawling in April's apartment. I also like how the turtles are fighting, and it's half fun, half intense. And I also like how the whole time April's got nowhere to go, so she's just in the safety of if the three fighting turtles are fighting in like a triangle shape, because they are, if you notice.
Yeah.
Because they're making a perimeter around Raph.
Absolutely.
And unconscious Raph's head is being cradled by April. The staging of this is perfect.
I agree.
It makes all the sense in the world. But that's when the axes are handed out. Man, good thing these guys aren't lumberjacks. No joke. The only thing safe in the forest would be the trees as they're trying to chop Mikey and Donnie, and they keep dodge rolling. But that weakens the floor's structural integrity. Then we see more foot show up on the roof. They're getting ready to jump in. Donnie drops the line, guys, I'm just saying, structurally speaking, I don't know if now is the best time for your pals to be dropping in. They drop in, the floor collapses, which is cool.
Yes.
And now the fight is in another phase as they're now brawling about the antique shop. And at one point when Mikey gets the cymbals, and just he cymbal crashes that guy's head. That dude's ears are
oh shit. I love how it's cartoony, but it's not hokey.
Leo jumps up and grabs onto a hanging bicycle seat and does a bicycle kick to a guy. That was cool. But he's a full mutant turtle. You know, he weighs 200 pounds, whatever, 160, whatever he weighs. Well, the seat comes off, so he falls, which then lets a bunch of the foot members to dogpile him. And I'm like, but it's fun without being stupid, and it still makes sense.
I agree.
He saw an opportunity, got a big kick on a guy, but the tool he was using fails, he falls, and other bad guys were there to take advantage. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And then the spin when he spins the turtle on his shell.
California roll.
Yeah.
And Mikey is now spinning and nunchucking outward and just drilling guys in the head or the knee or wherever he can hit them.
Was it at the beginning of this where they had the nunchuck duel?
When they first enter the apartment.
Yeah.
Yes. And the guy comes up and he's trying to be intimidating and he does the nunchucks. And that's when Mikey goes, oh, a fellow chucker, eh? And then they have the nunchuck off to see who can nunchuck better.
And he does the one finger spin.
And then it ends. So the guy, they go back a couple times, and then the ninja, the foot ninja, does this really impressive and intricate display. Like, it's impressive as hell. And then it cuts back. How can Michelangelo top this? Like a NBA player spinning a basketball on his finger, Mikey's spinning his nunchucks with one finger.
So cool.
But it's the perfect amount of like cartoon.
Absolutely.
Of course, if anyone could do that, Michelangelo could do that.
Have you ever tried to use nunchucks?
I've racked myself a couple of times, if that's what you're asking.
I've hit myself in the head.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
You brain yourself, you
Oh.
nut yourself.
Yeah. They're so cool. I would love to learn how to do them, but no. I did. I spun that thing around and went bonk, and it made a sound like, no.
Pussy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, when we get the cameras going, ticket price ninjutsu, and I'll do it if you do it.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Sarah, I know you're listening. Ninjutsu practice, Sarah. But a guy misses with an axe, hits the power line. He's dead, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
The amount of electricity that goes, I'm like, oh, that guy died. But that causes the fire. Now they're all brawling in fire, and that's cool.
It does. It looks good.
But we could really use Raph right about now.
I just love how the fight starts off playful, and it just kind of slowly gets more serious.
It escalates as the situation gets more dire.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If Mikey had done made a joke about the axes or done the nunchuck spin, or Leo fell off the bike seat, at this point it wouldn't work.
No.
And this movie takes itself so serious, the right amount of serious.
Yes, I agree.
We're past the point of jokes. One of them says we could really use Raph right about now because there's so many bad guys. They're losing. And they know they're losing. And now they're surrounded by fire. Enter Casey Jones. Who the heck is that guy? Wayne Gretzky? On steroids? As Casey hockey mask, hockey stick.
He looks cool.
He does look cool.
He looks so cool.
And Casey Jones enters the fray and just starts whooping ass. But ultimately, the Turtles, April, and Casey all escape, and the Ninja Clan, the Foot Clan, vanish as the fire trucks arrive to put out the fire. And what a perfect... So April's like, there's a trap door that leads to the basement. We can get out that way. That makes sense.
It does make sense.
The Turtles escape. Casey Jones fends off the narrow exit. This works. Casey Jones escapes. The Foot Clan go to chase, but cannot. Because the fire trucks and the police and whoever arrive, they have to leave without being seen. That is a perfect way to write it. Well, why wouldn't they just why wouldn't they follow? They couldn't. They had to leave or risk being discovered. And Shredder would not be so lenient.
Oh, absolutely not.
So, this works. It makes perfect sense.
I'm going to nitpick again.
Yes. This is what we do.
This is what we do.
Do. We're so cool.
If people are listening to this episode, they have not watched this movie, they're going to be like, what the fuck are these two idiots talking about? So they're in the building. It's on fire. They went down the escape hatch, basically. Yeah. Casey Jones is there. And the phone rings.
It's Charles.
And he looks up, and the answering machine is hanging from the roof, from the second floor.
From the fall.
It's on fire.
Yeah.
But he could still listen to the recording. This bothered me.
Why?
So I'm like, okay, for one, they cut the power. So,
yeah, but it's running through the phone line, right?
Not the answering machine. The answering machine, you have to plug it in.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Hear me out, though. The axe is still in the wall. There is still an electrical current.
Enough. Yeah. I don't know. And it just seemed kind of stupid to have that. I don't know. It every time I've ever watched it, I'm like, that is just it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, but it plays into the plot in a minute.
A little bit.
They all escape, and they get in April's ancient van and escape to a farmhouse that her grandparents are...
She's got lots of property.
She's doing okay for herself.
Yeah. And when they arrive at this place, I was waiting for Leatherface to come rushing out the front door chasing a woman.
Yeah. It's that kind of house.
It is.
But I'll tell you right now, the only reason Leatherface works is because he attacks ambush style against people who can't defend themselves. If Leatherface had like shown up in the door against a Ninja Turtle, that Ninja Turtle would kick his ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Okay. Man, Texas Chainsaw Massacre sucks. I know that movie is considered a classic. That movie sucks.
I have only watched that movie probably twice.
Yeah.
And I remember when we rented it and it was supposed to be this great, super, gory,
scary
movie.
It was one of those, this is one of the scariest movies of all time when it was released, and people still believe that for some reason.
I remember watching it and I remember going, that was it? That's the hype? That was what the hype is about?
Yeah.
Like, meh.
And most of the time I was irritated by whatever the hell was happening on screen.
I agree.
You remember how your biggest complaint in Baby Driver was just all the constant noise bombarding you and it gave you a headache? That was me in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Really?
Because it's just screaming and laughing and cackling and chainsaws. And this sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Back to something else. So now we get Raph's recovering. The three turtles are dealing with the loss they've suffered while bonding with April and Casey. April and Casey are bonding, and, they're just recovering from their loss.
Yeah, and they throw Raph into a tub.
Anna said that too. She goes, look how they just dumped him in the bathtub.
Fucking blam.
God, he's heavy.
With a little bit of water
in the bottom. A little bit of water in there.
Yeah.
Well, he is a turtle.
Oh, yeah.
Raph recovers, and they begin training. Now, you talked about how we never really see Donnie doing anything. We see him help Casey try to repair the old truck.
He's not doing anything. He's sitting in the fucking truck. They're
whatever you think, gackface.
They're going through the alphabet with insults. I like this interaction with these two.
When it goes through and he's like, I guess it worked. And then you just see the towel, the oily rag land on his head because Casey threw the towel at him.
Yeah, and he goes, he does that growl. Yeah.
And he's like,
There is a moment here where April does this voiceover.
Oh, when she's doing her art.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she talks about Leo, and she talks about Donatello, and she talks about Casey Jones.
Mm-hmm.
She never mentions Michelangelo.
No.
What in the hell?
Time constraints.
Poor Mikey.
Well, his dumbass was just sitting in front of the TV, barely registering what's happening.
That is true. But
I like Michelangelo. I'm just saying.
Too. Apparently, there was supposed to be this whole other small little side story with him, like how he was in like a depression, and because he doesn't say anything at all.
No.
When he's at this farm, until he goes and he puts the turtle wax on.
Even then, he doesn't
say anything. But that's kind of his way of coming out of his.
He starts joking again.
Mood.
Yeah.
Because there's a shot of, in the dark, one of the turtles is standing on the roof, I think, of the barn, and he's screaming.
It's Raph.
It is, the voice is Raph.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not Raph.
Oh, okay.
It's Michelangelo. But they just, because they had a whole thing where they were going to do with Michelangelo, and it was supposed to be him going through his grief, but they cut that, and then they just dubbed Raphael's voice over, because you could see the nunchucks.
Oh, okay.
Tucked in the belt.
I'm going to have to rewatch.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't going to rewatch it anyway.
I know, right? And then there's another moment here where Casey Jones and April are kind of hate flirting.
Yeah, they are hate flirting. That's although Casey making the soup and using one of Leo's katanas to cut the vegetables,
so great,
is always funny.
It's so great. I had totally forgotten about that until this last watch.
Cutting up a carrot with a full ass katana.
I love it. But then April's got shoulder problems, so he like grabs her by the shoulder.
Well, he goes to like rub her shoulders, and she like shrugs him off, and he's like, "Bitch!" And he like grabs her and forces her into a chair, and then really just starts rubbing her shoulders. But if you notice, his hands also go real low down her chest,
deep.
Anna goes, he's getting a little close there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, hey, take your hands on my woman.
Because he hadn't watched the second one, ladies and gentlemen. Am I right?
I am going to watch that direct to video
Feminine touch.
feminine touch.
I'm not saying you're wrong with your crush on Judith, but you see where I'm coming from. I was always partial to the second.
Yeah.
But Raph recovers. The turtles, as April puts it, are whole once more, but still not complete. But now they begin training. Because they're like, okay, we lost. We're not losing again.
So they do this thing, Leo does, where he kind of talks to Splinter.
Oh, he meditates.
Yeah. And then they all get around the fire.
You're just going to step on my shit as I'm getting there? And
okay.
You're just going to step all over my shit?
I didn't know if you were going there.
You're just stepping all... This is one of the most pivotal moments of the film. It is the most emotional scene in this whole movie, and you think I'm not going to talk about it? You're just going to step all over my shit.
I didn't know. I didn't know where you were going, but go ahead.
Hey, watch out. Oh, you stepped on what I was working on. Thanks,
You're
dick.
welcome.
But no, but we see them training, they're exercising, they're honing their skills, but in their downtime, Leo, remembering his teachings from Splinter, begins to meditate. And his consciousness, his spirit, is able to connect to Splinter. And Splinter feels Leo out there in the meditation universe. And Leo, it freaks him out. He wakes up, but he has made contact with Splinter. That's when he runs to the other turtles, and he's like, guys, he's alive.
This bothered me.
Why?
Because it's never brought up at all before.
It was the final lesson they hadn't gotten to. Splinter explains it.
Yeah, but I just wish there would have been something before to kind of show that Leo has been working on this.
Sure.
But again, I'm nitpicking.
But also, if any of them were to stumble upon this on their own, it would be Leo.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It works. It works because it is Leo.
Yeah.
Because he's the more serious in the art of ninjutsu. He's the leader. He's the one who's focused.
Yeah.
So it does work that way. I just wish they would have maybe. It's the same way with Donatello. Show it a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Nitpick.
Sure.
But that's what we do.
Do.
Fucking stupid.
Yes, we are. So Leo gets everyone together. He gets the other turtles together at night. They get a fire going, and he tells, just concentrate, meditate. And that the four of them together, being together, meditating together, I think they've also become closer during the farm sequence.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
And they are able to manifest Splinter's
Force Ghost.
And the fire looks cool as hell, by the way.
I agree.
The campfire begins to sputter and turn blue, and it starts to grow. And then within the dancing flames of this blue fire, Splinter, an apparition of Splinter appears. And, I'm so proud of you, my sons. You've learned the final and most important lesson of being a ninja. Ninjutsu is not an art of the body, but of the mind. And then, I'm so proud of you all, and I want to leave you with my final words. I love you all, my sons. And then Splinter goes away, and they all wake up, and now they're all crying.
Yeah, it's Splinters.
They're crying. I'm crying.
Do I need to add it to the board?
Maybe. And then Anna's like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "You don't understand. You're not a man."
That the tears that the turtles are weeping. Yeah. Oh yeah,
it actually looks surprisingly good. Honestly,
it does. But no, Splinter is saying goodbye.
Yeah,
essentially, I think he thinks he's he's done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
And he delivers the one most important message he can. Love you, my sons. There it is.
Yeah.
So
You're tearing up now.
I shut up. Don't talk about it.
Don't look at me.
I have to suck the tear back in. So now they're ready to return to the city. It's on. They go to the city. They return to the city, and they stay in the sewer. Some shenanigans ensue. You're a claustrophobic. Hey, you want a fist in the mouth? Never even looked at another guy.
So dumb.
No, it's funny.
So dumb.
It's dumb funny.
And they find Danny down there.
Don't shoot. As Leonardo's got his sword pointed at him and Raph, I don't think it's loaded, kid.
Yeah. Danny pisses me off.
Freaking Danny.
And then this
what a loser.
This part here makes me even more angry with Danny.
Yeah.
So April on the farm was doing all this cool artwork.
Yeah.
And she's showing Danny for reasons. And he's like, "Oh, cool. These are really good. Do you think I could have one?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." So he takes her artwork and fucking folds it multiple times.
He doesn't even roll it
like an asshole and puts it in his back pocket. As a fucking artist, I'm just like, you motherfucker. What are you doing?
Yeah.
If I had done that and he had asked me to have a piece of my artwork, I'm like, yeah, sure, you can have this. And he starts to fold it up like that, I would grab it out of his hand, smack him in the back of the head, and be like, no. Squirt him with a spray bottle. No. Get off the counter. Piece of shit.
And if you're wondering why Tevis doesn't have a cat anymore, you got a slow glimpse of it there.
Ugh.
I didn't even really think about that.
Fucking asshole.
Danny's the fucking worst.
It still pains me every time.
Because she does this really detailed, elaborate color pencil.
It looks cool.
Sketching. It looks great. He folds it like 4 times. He was testing the myth that you can only fold a piece of paper like 16 times.
Yeah, exactly.
He got it down to like the size of a Tic Tac.
Trying to force it down really hard. Drives over it with that truck. Look, I could fold it 18 times. Good job. You folded it to the size of a Tic Tac, you fuck. I hate him.
So Danny leaves. Shredder gets the artwork from him and is like,
How?
Why did you fold this?
How?
No, actually, Anna asked the same question. I really like this. So, where have you been?
You're hiding something.
Yeah, but where have you been? Nowhere. You're lying. Now that you get, Shredder could pick up on someone lying. Then he freaks him out with his bladed gauntlet. Shah! And runs it by his head. And then just in a really intimidating fashion, just starts running the blades kind of along his body. It cuts to Danny's face, and he nervously ticks and looks down at his pocket. Shredder sees it, and that's when he reaches into the pocket and pulls out the picture. No, this works.
But, okay, even that.
Danny gives it away because he sucks.
Yeah, but even that, he's like, Shredder takes the picture out, takes 20 minutes to unfold it, has to iron it out so he can see.
Oh, he can actually see it.
Because there's so many creases. And he sees that the picture is of Leo slumped over in a chair.
Yeah.
Just exhausted.
Yeah.
So then Splinter sees this and is like,
Shredder sees this.
That's what I said. Shredder. Why? What makes you think they're back just from this?
How else did Danny get a picture?
I mean, it's just a drawing.
Right, but how did he get it?
He could have drawn it.
No, you, me, Shredder, everyone knows Danny can't do anything except suck.
That's true. But yeah, he also knows that Danny didn't draw this because no self-respecting artist would have folded it that many goddamn times.
Or at all.
So I think I just answered my own question.
If he had rolled it.
If he had rolled it, then Shredder could have been like, oh, this is a good drawing you did.
Right.
I could tell because you rolled it like a normal fucking person would.
Yeah.
Dick.
This is my favorite part of the episode. Just how angry you are. See, we've worked it out. Are you good now?
I'm good now.
Okay. So Shredder sends his army of ninjas into the sewer, to find the turtles, but the turtles are ready for them. It's almost like they knew Danny sucks and is going to give him away.
Yeah. Yeah, because even Danny, when he leaves, Casey Jones is sleeping in the truck.
Because he's a claustrophobic.
Because he's a claustrophobe. So he sees Danny and he follows Danny.
Yes.
So then he ends up finding Splinter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we get the Tatsu fight.
If we can call it that.
It's aggravating.
Because Tatsu basically just starts punching and kicking Casey Jones. Casey Jones doesn't ever fight back. He just keeps like, quit hitting me, bam. Quit hitting me, bam. Quit hitting me.
It's terrible.
Then gets knocked into some garbage where Casey finds a golf club, a driver.
Yes.
And then actually yells for and does a golf club swing and
Hate it.
uppercuts Tatsu, who goes through the air and is knocked out.
Hate it.
It's not great.
No.
Worst fight in the movie, definitely.
Worst fight in the movie. And it's terrible because Tatsu was this awesome, intimidating figure. And then
apparently
he's not good against the Titleist. I don't know. It's
oh damn it, what's his name?
Jack Nicklaus?
No.
No.
Not the golfer.
Oh.
Tiger
Woods?
No. I don't care about his adultery. The director who did Christopher Nolan. Apparently Christopher Nolan took a lot of tips from this fight because he basically did the exact same thing to get rid of Bane.
Oh, yeah.
Because here's Bane and he and Batman are having a really cool fight. And then he gets shot by the Bat motorcycle and I guess is dead. And
yeah,
we never see him. We don't actually see him die either. He just gets shot off screen and is gone.
Yeah, it's done.
And we just went, ugh.
That was terrible. Yeah. He Tatsu got baned.
Bane got Tatsu'd.
Or Bane. Yeah, Bane got Tatsu'd.
Bane got Tatsu'd.
Yeah.
I do like how Sam Rockwell's like, let's get him. And Casey's he's got like a golf bag because he's found a bunch of clubs. And then he pulls one out and just points at him. He's like, you want to be first, Junior? I liked that.
I did too. But it would have been so much better if there would have been a legit fight between those two.
Absolutely.
And then that way it comes off as a lucky shot.
Yeah.
And I don't like that at all.
No. Yeah, if I could change one thing about this movie, it would be that.
Yeah.
I would love to see more Mikey on the farm. I would have loved it if they had kept that section of Mikey's depression because I think that would have been interesting to see. But no, if they say, Jake, you can change one thing, Tatsu and Casey Jones fight. Like fight.
Yeah. Yeah, even Casey Jones maybe finds another hockey stick laying around and he takes a swing at it and Tatsu blocks it and breaks it.
Breaks it with his forearm. Because you basically have a ninja master versus a street fighter.
Yeah.
And so I think in my mind, the fight would go, Tatsu is putting the hurt on Casey, but Casey just gets up. Like he just keeps getting up and just keeps fighting back.
It's like Captain America. They
Yeah.
can do this all day.
And then they just reach a point where maybe they've pummeled each other. And then he gets knocked into the garbage. Like maybe Tatsu's winning. And Casey's trying to fight back, but is outmatched. But is doing his best.
Yeah.
And lands a few shots for sure. But then gets hit into the garbage, finds the club, doesn't do the golf swing. But then fights Tatsu with the club.
Oh, yeah.
And then now with the extra help, he puts him away.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But Casey and Danny rescue Splinter, while the turtles are just putting a turtle-style ass whipping on the foot.
I like this a lot.
When Donnie's got the skateboard and is going down the tunnel, just taking people out. And then Raph shows up, show off.
Yeah, I love how they all fight in this.
Yeah.
All the turtles, rather.
So then the Foot lure them to the meeting spot up on the roof. Because if you notice, they all start retreating and they're all going the same way.
I love the beginning when all the Foot Clan are rushing into the sewer.
How impressive is it when those guys slide down that the sewer grate or whatever?
Oh yeah, the one on the curb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive as hell.
I agree. But I love how they all rush down there, and then when they're getting their ass kicked, you have the exact same shots, but it's them coming out, trying to get away.
Yeah, but it's not the same shot like done in reverse.
No, it's just the same angle.
It's the same shot, but instead of head first down in the drain, they're head first trying to get out.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, coming out.
We are losing.
Yeah, I love that.
The turtles chase them up onto this roof where all of a sudden Shredder drops down like a badass and has a spear.
He looks cool.
And it's on.
Yeah. I love the slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
It works. It works.
And like Leo goes in first, and we get some solid, simple, short, solid choreography.
I agree.
As Shredder takes Leo to task. Then Raph goes in, takes out Raph. Then Donnie goes in. Donnie loses. Then it cuts back to like April and Splinter and Casey, but in that meantime, we hear Mikey lose. And that's when the turtles are huddled up and Shredder's just waiting. He doesn't need to rush it.
Nope.
And he's just like, when exactly did we lose control here? Maybe someone should tell him we're the good guys. And then it's like, I'd tell you something else. He knows where Splinter is. And Leo rushes in again, and they fight again. And Shredder beats them. And now that we see they're sore, they're beaten, they're tired. They keep getting up. And that's when somebody's, they say Splinter again. The Rat. He has a name. He had a name. And they're going again.
Yeah. There's a shot when Leo goes in for the final time.
The dive?
The dive, but then he gets the spear towards his neck.
Yeah.
And the look on Leo's face. It looks like the cartoon.
Yeah.
With the teeth and the mouth shape.
The neck veins is like
it's so cool.
It looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
He dies. Weapons now. And Raph is the first to throw his weapons away. Mikey and Donnie follow suit, and Shredder laughs at him. Fools. The three of you might have gotten me in a rush, and only one of you would have died. Now you have no chance, and you're all going to die,
Yeah, Mikey throws his weapons to the side, but one of them hangs on the ladder.
Because it cuts down to Casey and April and Danny, and all of a sudden Splinter's just not there. And Casey looks over at Danny. Where'd he go? Like he was just here.
Yeah.
And before the killing blow can be struck on Leo, Shredder is distracted as there stands a 5-foot rat.
The puppet work on Splinter is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
And Splinter announces himself and explains, I know you, Orokusaki. You killed my master, Hamato Yoshi. And Shredder takes the mask off, and you see the scars from when he and Splinter fought when Splinter was a normal-sized rat. And let's be honest, his scars aren't that bad. They don't require a face mask. But the face mask does look badass and completes the ensemble, so I get it.
Oh, yeah. It's like Kane wearing his mask because he was badly burnt.
Come to find out, it was just like smudges.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
I always hated
Quit talking about it.
They unmasked Kane. I always hated that.
Yeah. And he was bald. Just stop.
He was not even bald. It was so terrible. He had that haircut.
He had tufts.
Oh,
yeah.
It was gross.
Let's not talk about it. Also, Glenn Jacobs is not an attractive guy.
Oh, no, not at all.
So,
Isaac Yankum.
DDS. You know, Splinter or Shredder's like, I'm going to finish what I started with your ear, charges with the spear. When using the nunchuck, uses the chain of it to deflect the spear blade, wrap around it, and then flip
I hated this.
Shredder over the side of the building.
I hated this so much.
Why?
And I know you couldn't do a whole lot with
The puppetry.
So I get it. But I guess you could chalk it up to Shredder, his anger taking over. But I don't know. This always seemed lame to me.
Sure.
But I did like when he's hanging off the edge of the building and Splinter's got both of the nunchucks holding that spear.
Yeah.
And he's going through this monologue. And he doesn't even get it all the way done. And Shredder throws a knife at him.
Yeah, but he catches the knife like a badass.
Yeah, and that lets go of the one side of the nunchucks.
Which causes Shredder to fall off the building into the back of a garbage truck that Casey Jones parked. And then they're like, we won. And then Casey Jones, oops. And Casey Jones commits a first-degree murder here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And everyone's celebrating, and it's not said a single time until now when Splinter goes, I have always liked cowabunga. And the turtles all high five with a big cowabunga.
I made a funny.
At the end of the sequel, he goes, I made another funny.
There's a moment where, at the end here, where Danny tries to redeem himself.
It's Dan now.
Oh, yes. Danny, where have you been? I've had the whole
Dad. It's Dan now.
It's Dan.
Like, Dan?
What the fuck? Why? Where did this come from?
Fuck you, Danny.
He gave the $20 that he stole from April back.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Dad, it's Dan now.
It's Dan now.
You suck. Fuck you, kid.
Wait, when we do the top 10 for 91 to 100 or 81 to 90,
worst character?
is Danny the worst character?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so going back to Casey Jones, Anna was like, you know what I wish they had done for this movie? There are many iterations of Mr. Jones, but one iteration stands head and shoulders above the others. And that is the original cartoon series, Casey Jones. Are you familiar with this?
No.
So the cartoon version of Casey Jones, the original cartoon version of Casey Jones, he's like 6'5", he's huge. And he looks like prime John Cena. He's huge and ripped.
Is it a bald spot?
No, I said prime.
Oh. I honestly, I never thought John Cena was ever prime.
Physically.
Okay.
Wait. Time out. Everything I just said doesn't matter right now. You, Tevis, are about to critique John Cena's physique?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm critiquing John Cena as a wrestling persona.
Right. I'm talking body.
Okay. I'm talking character.
No, Casey Jones is 6'5" and built like a Sherman tank.
So he's Jack Reacher.
Yeah, but still bigger.
Bigger than Jack Reacher?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like more muscular.
Have you seen Alan Rick?
Yeah.
Okay.
But more muscular. I'm telling you, they made him he could double as Hercules.
Oh, okay.
They were like, what is the most perfect physical specimen physique-wise we can put together? And that's how they drew him. But he's got the hockey mask, and his hair is just a wild mane of black. But Casey Jones in the original cartoon is batshit crazy. His voice is a bad Clint Eastwood impression. and he's taken it upon himself to be the sole vigilante of New York. And every crime is treated with the same severity.
Damn.
Like the first time they meet him at the end of the at one point at the end of the episode where they first meet him, it ends with Casey Jones is talking to the turtles and then looks over and sees a jaywalker. And he's like,
Jesus Christ.
And it's an old man jaywalking on an empty street. And Casey Jones just pulls out his hockey stick. Hold it right there, criminal scum. No one breaks the law in Casey Jones's town. And then chases the guy down the street. And all the turtles just go, okay. In the next episode, Krang makes little robots that crawl into machines and control the machines. So now the machines, it's picture Maximum Overdrive. Okay. Stephen King, Maximum.
Oh, yeah.
But like the movie where all the machines are affected, not just the cars.
Yeah.
And so the turtles are fighting machinery. But at one point, there is a vending machine that shambles its way towards Mikey and Donnie and starts crushing them against this brick wall. And two turtles are trying to push against it and can't. The vending machine is too heavy. And they're about to get crushed. When all of a sudden, from the rooftop, you hear, even machines must obey the laws of man. And he jumps down into the street, grabs the vending machine that two turtles can't handle, power lifts it over his head, and then throws it into a bunch of other oncoming machines, and then dual wield sledgehammers like he's John Henry. It just pulverizes everything. And Anna wishes that that some iteration of the Turtles would bring that Casey Jones back. It is the best Casey Jones.
I would like to see that, actually.
There's an episode where the Foot Clan have secretly taken control of this mega corporation and then are using this corporation to monopolize all the tech and science industries for their own nefarious purposes. But anytime the turtles get close, the people working at this company pull out laser rifles and start shooting at them, so they can't get close. They need a human who won't be recognized to sneak in and do some undercover work. Well, April's a big TV personality. Who's the other human we know? And they have to get Casey to do it. So Casey goes in a full suit, briefcase, hockey mask. This Casey Jones never takes his mask off. He also still has his golf bag of weapons on his back over his suit.
Jesus.
He walks in and the secretary's like, can I help you? I'm here for a job interview. And it's like, I don't think we're hiring. Not hiring, huh? What do you think about this? And he pulls a baseball bat out and smashes her computer. And one of the executives is walking by. He's like, I like your spunk, kid. Come with me. You're hired. And he like goes upstairs. He's like Casey Jones, hockey mask, suit. He's taken his jacket off, but still has his weapons and is like working in the mail room. And he's actually like sorting mail when all of a sudden his supervisor comes in and goes, hey, Jones, get back to work and no messing around. I'm watching you. And he just turns around and you go, oh no. And he's like, watching me, huh? How about you watch this? And he just picks his boss like a manhandles him. And then another executive was walking by and he's like, this kid's got the attitude we're looking for. You're promoted. And he just keeps violently working his way up the ladder in this company. It is the greatest thing ever.
That's what I've been doing wrong.
You haven't been using enough violence in the workplace. And then when someone calls you out on your violence, you get more violent.
Pick them up and throw them across the room. So I was looking up people who have played Casey Jones in the past.
Okay.
So we got Elias Cotes.
Yeah.
We got Stephen Amell, who was Casey Jones in that new the Michael Bay sequel.
You know I've seen that, but I don't remember Casey Jones in it at all.
Chris Evans voiced Casey Jones in the TMNT, the first animated movie that they did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then there's Josh Peck was one. I'm not real familiar with him at all. But there was a cartoon movie they did, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Those are some terrible turtle designs too, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Raphael looks like a refrigerator.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know who voices Casey Jones in that?
No.
Haley Joel Osment.
Oh, God. Does he still sound like a little boy? Because he still looks like a little boy.
He does. He looks like a little boy with a beard.
Yeah.
And it's unsettling.
No, so
I just thought that was fun.
I do agree, though. They need to bring batshit Casey back out.
I would love to see that.
It's so fun. But just the image of him going in for a job interview, but still having his hockey mask on. It's so funny. So I could talk about turtles like, okay, if you want to get down into the weeds, it's ingenious why each turtle has the weapons that they have.
Yes, I found that out.
You've looked into that.
I've looked into that. Go ahead.
Oh, are we doing it?
Talk about it.
Okay. So you've got Leonardo. He's the leader, but he struggles making decisions a lot of the time, especially the tough decisions. So what does Splinter do? Splinter gives him the only purely lethal weapon, the katanas. So every time he fights, Leo, with every strike he makes, is making a tough decision on, is this a fatal wound or not?
Yeah, I like that.
Raphael, he's the most violent. He's the most aggressive. He's the most out of control when the heat is on. So Splinter tempers that by giving him a purely defensive weapon in the Sai. So no matter what, in his pure fighting style, he's never full offense. His weapons don't let him be full offense. He's inherently somewhat defensive. Michelangelo, he can't focus. He's always head in the clouds, dancing, being goofy, being silly, and yet he has the most intricately difficult weapon to handle.
He's very scatterbrained.
Which means when he's training and fighting and using his nunchucks, he has to focus to even use his weapons.
Yeah, what I found out here, he wields the nunchuck, a weapon infamous for its complexity and ease of injuring the user.
Very true.
Yes.
As you rub your head, painful memory. And then Donatello is obsessed with technology and the future and advancement, and yet his weapon is the wooden bow, the most simplistic of them all, forcing him to know and understand and appreciate the simple things, the past, and keeping him from getting too wrapped up in his machines.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
The turtles fucking kick ass, man.
They do.
The turtles are so cool. I will fight. I will Casey Jones level fight someone. So,
reviews?
Ratings.
Sorry.
I'm making a disgruntled face right now. IMDb 6.8.
Too low.
Too low?
Too low.
On an IMDb scale, where do you put?
Honestly, I would go 7.7.
That's fair. That's fair. Rotten Tomatoes
Bullshit.
43%.
Bullshit.
For a grand total of 111. Wrong. How often is it that IMDb is more or less wrong than Rotten Tomatoes?
Not very.
Rotten Tomatoes is usually more on par, but they are way off. 43. 43.
Wrong.
No. This movie has well-written characters. It's well acted. It has a coherent plot. It has a good bad guy. It has all the basic fundamentals you need for a good movie.
I agree. It has some problems, but what movie doesn't?
It's not a 97.
No.
But a 43.
That's wrong. Yeah.
Even on their scale, 50 is half.
Are you sure you didn't get the wrong review for the wrong?
No, I double checked.
You sure this wasn't the Michael Bay one?
Well, after I got my phone after having angrily thrown it across the room, I double checked. So yeah, TMNT 111 total, making it one of the lowest rated overall movies we've done. And that's bullshit. That is straight bullshit. Reviews. New York Times. The New York Times was not a fan of this movie.
Really?
And they were one of the ones that were complaining how the flashbacks felt like they were cut and pasted from a different movie. Not a fan. It is itself a mutant of sorts. A contentious, unsightly hybrid of martial arts exploitation film and live-action cartoon.
Okay.
Not a fan. Ebert. This movie is nowhere near as bad as it might have been, and probably is the best possible Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. 2.5 stars. Suck it, Die Hard.
Are you kidding me?
Suck it, Die Hard.
Okay, well,
Just know, Die Hard is a half a star worse than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So the Michael Bay 2014 Turtle movie got 21% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, God. Apparently, Rotten Tomatoes just doesn't like the Turtles.
Apparently.
But if they had rated the Michael Bay ones higher than this one, I would have had to burn their headquarters down.
Let's see what they did the sequel to that one.
No.
I want to see if we can make you burn something. 38%.
I mean, there's
for the sequel of the Michael Bay one.
I know I've seen them, but I'm not as familiar as to us sitting here talking to say one is better than the other of the Michael Bays. I don't know.
The TMNT, the animated one, in 2007 got a 36.
What is their problem with the Turtles?
Let's see here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Oh. I got a 95%.
Bullshit. I've watched that movie. I enjoyed that movie. You cannot say that is a 95 and this one is a 43. That is wrong.
You know what the sequel to this one got? 36.
Yeah. I think it still beat Joe Dirt, though.
I think so. Oh, Turtles 3.
Turtles in Time or whatever. That movie is horrible.
19.
10 points higher than Joe Dirt.
That's absolutely right.
No, the Turtles in Time is... Anna and I tried to watch it. We were just in a mood, and we had marathon these like a year or two ago. And we did 1, we did 2, we found 3. And Anna was like, I don't think I've ever seen it. And I was like, I know I have, but I've never gone back. We didn't finish it.
Really? Was that bad?
It really is that bad. Although Elias comes back as Casey Jones in that one.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks that he didn't come back in the second one.
Well, they went with a different sidekick character. It's a whole Kino. It's a whole thing. So, I don't have a ton of awards. I have a couple. Do you have awards?
I don't.
So, I would like to give the Roger Murtaugh Award for being too old for this shit to Splinter.
Yeah, he just hangs there half the movie. Jesus.
Getting beaten on.
No shit.
He's too old for this shit. I would like to give the Morpheus Award for Best Dressed to Shredder.
That's a good pick.
The armor, the outfit, it's hot fire.
He looks cool.
What is your opinion for best line in this movie?
Oh shit, man, there's so many.
There are, and mine is one we didn't talk about. I may have intentionally left it out so I could save it for now.
I gotta say it's the Jose Canseco bat.
Tell me you didn't pay. Let me argue.
There's so many.
This movie's quotable as hell. Its quotability makes it more than a 43.
Absolutely.
So my favorite line, and again, there's so many to choose from. They're at the farmhouse. And it's one of the scenes of in between the training. Mikey and Donnie are watching TV. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember? They're watching a cartoon adaptation of the old Tortoise and the Hare.
Ninja kick the damn rabbit.
What are you doing? You're letting him blow right by you. Oh, ninja kick the damn rabbit. Do something. I have it in my notes. Ninja kick the damn rabbit.
I forgot about that.
Is the best line in that movie.
That is a good fucking line.
It is.
Ninja kick the damn rabbit.
It's quotable. It's out of nowhere. It's hilarious. It's the right amount of ridiculous, and you laugh just ninja kick the damn rabbit.
I agree. That is a damn good line. I love that.
All right. And so, again, my pick is the basic pick, but it makes too much sense to not go with it. So if you could put a prop on our shelf from this movie, what would it be?
You know what? It's going to be that fucking Leonardo drawing that's got fold marks all over it.
You know what? That is a good one. I went the basic pick.
The sigh.
The sigh.
I knew it. I almost did.
It's the perfect size. It's immediately recognizable and has a lot of plot significance in the early going.
It does. Yeah.
But yeah, but specifically the folded
drawing. It's got to be folded.
Just to piss you off.
Yep. I would frame it, and then I would put a Post-it note in front of it that says, fucking Danny.
Fucking Danny.
You think I could have one?
No.
No.
Not after that. But, I mean, Raph Sai is.
That's a good
Anna
one.
brought up one. She goes, what about one of their bandanas, one of their masks?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, the only reason I didn't go with that is because you couldn't have just one.
No.
You'd have to have all four, but this is a prop.
Yep.
A prop. Or maybe Casey Jones's hockey mask.
That would be a cool one,
That would
too.
be sweet.
There's so many, though, you could pick from.
Yeah. The folded drawing. We'll put it next to the canned film of Teen Wolf 2 you bought, but we tear the label so it just says Teen Wolf.
Absolutely.
They don't have to know.
No.
It's a sequel.
What is your favorite part of this movie? What's your favorite part? What's your favorite thing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
My favorite thing about that's too big a question, and we don't have that much time. I do have a family to go home to. I don't know. There's so many great parts in this movie. But honestly, if I had to pick one as we're sitting here talking, the Shredder fight scene. It's everything I love. I love all 5 characters involved. I love the fight. You know I'm a sucker for a big bad who is actually a bad. Like, he's the big bad because he is the big bad.
I agree.
The Shredder fight scene. It's got a few jokes in there for the humor. It's got the Ninja Turtle Brotherhood. Shredder kicks ass, and the fight is cool.
My favorite part of this, and I love this so much that it kept me from watching the sequels. It's
April?
That's a different story.
Okay.
It's the design of the turtles.
Oh, yeah.
Their puppet work, those costumes look so damn cool. They have NECA figures of the turtles themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they look exactly like they do in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
They come in a 2-pack, so you can get Mikey and like Raph, and then you can get Leo and Donnie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like $65-$70 a piece.
Oh,
And I'm like, oh, I can't, even though I want to.
I want to, but that's a lot of money.
But they have ones with Shredder, and they have Tatsu, but just the 4 turtles themselves, they look so damn cool that when I seen the trailer for Secret of the Ooze and they didn't look the same, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. They look terrible.
No, trust me, it gets worse. Actually, look up on your. I don't know what it's called, so bear with me.
Is it the one with the girl turtle?
Yes,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
they made a live-action People and Puppets TV show.
Saw that.
That's not a movie. And you can find the episodes of it on YouTube. Me and a couple of buddies. It was super late at night, and we were just doom scrolling through YouTube watching I think we ended up watching a couple full episodes of the original Magic School Bus where they definitely rape Arnold.
That's okay.
Sorry, dropping hard R's. Okay. Arnold is sick. Miss Frizzle and the kids get in the school bus and then shrink down to a microscopic size and then enter Arnold without his permission
Oh, okay. That's creepy.
to figure out why he's sick.
And they take all their germs with them.
Yes.
Okay.
You know that bus didn't get washed.
Oh, yeah, no.
But no, so while doing all this, we stumbled across, because none of us had heard of it, and we watched it, and we went, we watched the first episode, and it's horrible.
It looked terrible from just what I seen of it.
The suits look atrocious. You know what pissed me off more than anything watching it? They meet Mona Lisa, the female turtle.
Oh, okay. I didn't know her name.
That sounds right. Now, nope. I'm sorry, it's not Mona Lisa. It's Venus. Venus de Milo.
Yep, there it is.
I knew it. Yep, I got there.
Ugh.
And they're all flirting with her or whatever. And she's like, oh, so it's nice that you have family. It's nice that you're brothers, or something to that effect. Raphael drops the line, well, we're not actually brothers. We were just 4 turtles who got bought together. And I went, hold the fuck up. This shitty show is actually... Yeah, there she is. I like how they gave her turtle boobs.
I know, right?
This show
Nice turtle rack.
This show is actually going to look me in my face and tell me that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are not brothers and think I'm not going to have a violent reaction.
Yeah, and they're not really turtles either. No, you can't rewrite shit.
My 2 friends had to hold me down. I was so angry. Well, let's not talk about that ever again.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by the turtles looked so damn good in this, and that was important. Because if they looked terrible, then the movie doesn't work.
The second one, they don't look. Is it a downgrade? Yes, but it's not. It doesn't kill it for me, especially because they're a little more cartoony looking, and the whole movie is more cartoony. In the second one, they don't use their weapons to fight.
I know,
because their weapons were deemed too violent.
That's dumb.
So they just do hand stuff. They do hand stuff.
Yeah, that's better.
The turtles just do hand stuff.
They just do over the pants stuff. It's way better.
Is that second base?
Yeah. Way more family appropriate.
Yeah. Wait. Over the pants mouth stuff.
There it is.
Is that... You're somewhere between second and third. You've left second, but you haven't made it to third yet.
You're stuck in between,
the basement are playing monkey in the middle.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what is the worst part of this movie for you?
It's probably the dinner date with April in her apartment. Other than that, I forgot how much they crammed into 93 minutes. This movie cooks.
It does. It goes quick.
It's like you just threw it in a pizza oven and it's going.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one spot that's slow and just kind of is there as an excuse for the turtles to not be home, you know, but it's just kind of, it is what it is. It's fine, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
And you?
He folded the drawing.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
It was only 2 or 3 times.
Doesn't matter. He fucking folded it.
I didn't know you were going to have such a visceral reaction to something in the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
But no, I would say that there's a tie, honestly, but the 3 parts. It's the folding. He folded it. The dinner scene with the
she turned into a fucking flash drive. He folded the picture.
That the folding of the picture, the way they did Tatsu was dirty.
Agreed.
And that the dinner part where they're doing the impressions, those 3 are just kind of
no movie's perfect.
No, not at all.
Is it a 43? I will
absolutely not
fight you. All right, final thoughts. We're there.
You want to go first?
Okay. Well, let's be honest. Everyone knows what I think.
Oh, yeah.
Is this movie worth the ticket price? Absolutely it is. Now, this was one of my greater challenges on the show so far of trying to put my nostalgia away.
I knew it would be.
But I'm not going to lie. Once we got to, yes, dudes and dudettes, Major League Butt Kicking is back in town. And then we got the title card and the music. Task failed. I couldn't. Now, let me say task failed successfully. I still took my notes. I was still jotting down what worked, what didn't work, didn't like, whatever. But I'm sorry, this movie is a gem. If you've never seen it and you're into the Turtles, watch it. If you're like us and it's a piece of nostalgia from your childhood that you haven't gone back to, knock the dust off of it. You will love it. You're going to have the best time. It's fun. The action is cool. It's well written. And the seams just add to the movie's character. You know, seeing the shell on the rubber suit fold and bend because it's a suit, it's okay. This movie isn't perfect. You know what it is? It's fun. It's entertaining. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to have a good time. Worth the ticket price. I had a ball. I did. I had a ball. And my wife had a ball. We enjoyed this movie immensely. Does my wife appreciate the Ninja Turtles? Sure. Does she like them? Yeah. Is she a turtle fan? Is she me? No. But you don't have to be a diehard like myself to enjoy this movie.
1990. The Turtle movie.
That is what we're talking about.
Okay. I loved this movie when I first watched it. I wore the shit out of that VHS copy of it that I had recorded off of HBO. And I've never watched another Turtle movie that gave me the same feeling that this one did. Going back to it, I was worried.
Mm-hmm.
I knew there were a few handful of issues I had with it. But honestly, I'm not a big Turtle guy. Never was a big Turtle fan. You are right. you don't have to be a diehard turtle guy or even a turtle fan at all to enjoy this movie. This movie rocks, man. I still love it. It's so damn good. It's worth the ticket price. The puppetry that's going on here and all of the shit that they do while in those suits, it's fantastic. If they did a new turtle movie, new live action turtle movie, and they ditched that CGI Michael Bay ugly bullshit and just did the suits again, I would be all for it. This was one of the last things Jim Henson did before he died. He died in 1990.
I was going to say, doesn't this movie have a in memory of?
I think so.
Yeah.
But just with the turtles and Splinter and seeing the puppetry come to life, it's so fucking cool. It's so damn cool. And I will rewatch this movie every year easily. It's so damn fun. It's funny. The actions scenes are cool. The acting is good. There's no real bad acting in it. Maybe Danny, but
the kid who wants cigarettes.
You got any cigarettes? No, it's so damn fun. I wish when they did the sequel, they would have just taken the suits that they had, kept the same feel of this movie, and taken it to the second one, introduce more of the characters from the comics or the cartoons rather.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't number 2 when they tried to bring in new creatures, but they didn't want to do Bebop and Rocksteady for some reason.
Yeah, so they did Tokar and Razor.
Who the fuck is that?
It is a mutated version of a snapping turtle and a wolf.
Are they in the cartoons?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
So you got to remember that the cartoon ran during the length of this, when these movies were made.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't done my homework because I didn't know you were going to ask. So it's a little chicken and the egg. But I believe they were in the movie and then got brought into the show to kind of connect it all.
But so even the lamest of turtle fans, being me, I know Bebop and Rocksteady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know those other two.
No.
If they would have just done Bebop and Rocksteady, I may have watched the second one.
Actually, okay. You've brought them up. So it's really funny. TGRI is the company that made the ooze, right?
Yes.
They're disposing all the ooze. Tatsu and his team get the last canister and kidnap the lead scientist who made it. So now Shredder is using the ooze and the scientist to make mutants to kill the turtles. Premise.
Okay.
Shredder sends the team out to find the deadliest animals they can find. On the outskirts of the city, they find a snapping turtle and a wolf. Good, we're going to mutate them. Come to find out, they had found baby snapping turtle and wolf. So when they mutate, they're huge and monstrous. But they have the mentality of like a 2-year-old. No, here it's... So, they're rattling their cages and stuff. And Shredder's like, open them. Let them out. They may attack me, but I'm going to handle this. And so they open and we see these, and the puppetry still looks cool. Tokar and Razor come out and he goes, come, attack me if you must. But in the end, you will call me master. And they're like snarling and they're approaching and you will call me master. Huh? And then they look at each other and they look at Shredder and they go, mama? Oh, mom. They go and hug him. He's like, what the fuck? So they separate them. And now they're just like sitting on the floor playing with junk because they're 2-year-olds, right? And Shredder goes, they're useless. Kill them. And the scientist goes, you can't kill them. They're living creatures. they're stupid. Well, they're not stupid. They're infants. And then I believe Togar just picks up a big metal pipe and bonks Razor on the head with it. It makes a great sound. And then Razor's like, holding his head. And the scientist just deadpan looks back to Shredder and goes, all right, they're stupid infants. And that makes it all worthwhile. They're not stupid. They're infants. Bang. All right, they're stupid infants.
That's funny.
That's what I said.
Oh, that's funny. But no, yeah, this movie's so fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Did you watch it with your daughter?
No.
Are you going to watch it with her?
I think I've tried, and she just like not having it. But that was a while ago, so I may try it again. See what she thinks.
I would like to bring up the scene where the Foot Clan tell April to shut her mouth.
I'm to deliver a message, Miss O'Neill.
It's only funny because it's actually pretty spot on.
Your mouth. Shut it.
All right, where's the hat?
And yes, you are behind on your Sony payments again.
Where's the hat? Is it my turn or your turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. I don't know if that's right, but I'll look. Hold on. Digging around. Oh, okay.
Feminine touch?
No, that's our inaugural episode of Ticket Price After Dark. Wait, show me that picture again.
Where we do nothing but review Cinemax movies.
So, okay.
From the early 90s.
This is a movie that I'm almost positive neither of us have seen.
Okay.
It's a more recent movie that we added to the hat for that. Small town where a group of kids are tormented by some thing that is slowly taking over their town.
It, chapter 2?
But wait, it gets better. Starring Mel Gibson, baby.
Huh?
You heard me. Mel Gibson, baby.
Another Mel Gibson movie.
Another Mel Gibson movie.
Okay.
Monster Summer.
I know of it. I don't know. Is it like a fairly recent one?
Yes.
Is it a Netflix original?
I don't think so. Hold on, I'm looking it up. Monster Summer, released in 2024. Mel Gibson. I think it's an Amazon movie.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
It's got Patrick Rena.
I'm literally pulled that up.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Ugh.
What do you mean, ugh?
He plays an umpire.
He plays the character umpire. Important role, that. No, 2024, Monster Summer, Mel Gibson.
It's got Lorraine Bracco in it.
Sure.
Goodfellas.
Okay.
She was in Goodfellas.
Okay. I believe you.
Monster Summer. Okay.
Tune in next week as we look at 2024's Monster Summer with my man, Mel Gibson.
I've never seen this film.
Me neither.
Okay.
So it's going to be fun for both of us.
It'll be interesting.
Anything else to add?
Are we done?
I think we're done.
I'm tired.
Is this a 4-hour episode?
I'm hungry.
I am too. Lunchtime.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, make sure you're following the show. Click the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our regular content, bonus content, or after dark content. We've got
Where can we rent that movie?
must find. We've got 2 links at the bottom of this description. One will take you to bingo cards. I hope you've been playing along. If so, let us know in the comments if you got bingo. And the second one will take you to a merch store where you can get merch of your favorite podcast, whatever that podcast may be, but also you can get merch for our podcast. And the list continues to expand. We are working on some more designs, and it's a lot of fun. We've got some fun stuff in the works, so stay tuned for that. We have a Patreon, $3 a month if you're so inclined. But most importantly, as always, I'm Jake, that's Tevis, we're Ticket Price, and we want you to be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and good night. This is what we do.